Hello YouTube, LyricSize17 here, but you can just call me Travis, and welcome back for another collection update. Before we jump into the music, a couple things. Pretty much every video I've done like the last month or two or three, I've been cut off with the video, so I'm going to try filming these in parts, that way I don't get cut off mid-sentence, because that's really annoying to, I'm sure, you, but also me. So yeah, we're going to do that. And then also, I just wanted to give a shout out to, he's a really new YouTuber actually, but he has a couple videos out and I really like him, and he only has one subscriber, which is me, and that's just criminal. Yeah, that's right, you guys are all criminals. Anyway, his YouTube name is Fen Dweller. He's from England. Looks like he mostly talks about like brutal death metal and that kind of stuff, which is awesome because I don't really listen to enough of it, and so anyone who can kind of lead my hand along is great and definitely warranted viewing. So yeah, definitely check him out and sub to him if he tickles your fancy. Alright, so yeah, let's get into it. In the background, we are listening to Bekëth, Nexëhmü, the Dunkla, Herrarna. This is actually the only one of his releases that is considered a actual full length and not just like a demo. So, yep, that's what's in the background. It matches the weather outside today for me. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's jump into the music. First up is a 2018 release. It's actually an EP. This came out, I don't know, earlier in the month, in February, but the CD copy finally arrived to me. And that is, this is Tröll. This is a band out of Leeds in England. They play like a heavy metal, power metal kind of hybrid thing going on. You know, maybe a little bit of traditional doom in there a little bit, but mostly just those two. I kind of actually would sort of couple them along with Visigoth, actually, sort of similar style to them. Not as good. I like Visigoth more, but these guys are pretty good, and I think if you like Visigoth, you'll like them also. 3 tracks, new singer, who I actually kind of say I don't like as much as the previous guy, but they're both serviceable and certainly fit the style of this band, so that's fine. I will say, I don't know, the first track on this album weirds me out. In the Name of Isabella is the name of it. There's so many parts of the song that like really sound like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but it's kind of sound like metalcore, melodic death metal kind of vibe with it. I don't know, it weirds me out. But the second track, The Battle of Enki's Tower, killer track. The opening riff is just like immediately you're like, hell yeah. Also Blood Moon, the final track in here, another good one. Just Digipack opens up. I guess it's supposed to be like a faux gatefold, as we'll see in a second here. Lyrics inside, info on the back. This is self-released by the band, I believe. I enjoy the little barcodes they have with it's like a castle. Anyway, it comes in I don't know if I showed it, but it slides out of here, and then it's supposed to look like a faux record. I can show you. So yeah, like it comes out of here, and you can kind of see how it has faux grooves on it, and actually the back is black. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. I don't like it as much as the full length that they released last year. Again, this is 3 tracks, so it's kind of hard to really compare them. And again, that first track, I don't know, weirds me out. But I think if you liked their album that came out last year, you will definitely dig this one too. And speaking of which, I hadn't picked it up yet, so I also got that one. Again, this came out last year, Tröll, The Night of Rebellion. In this case, I think if you are a child of the 80s, like I was, you kind of have the feeling that this guy might be a He-Man wannabe type character, particularly when your castles have skulls on them. Like I said, this one is their full length. It has, what, 8 tracks on it? Yeah, 8 tracks? 7 tracks. Pretty cool stuff, really long for the general being, as you can see the lengths there. I actually would say the 3 8-minute tracks, Time for Vengeance, Unwanted by the Gods and The Eternal Betrayal. All the ones that are over 8 minutes. Those are my 3 favorite tracks, interestingly enough. Here's the inside with some information. One thing I thought was funny was unreasonable amounts of mixing and recording duties by Baldy, who's the kind of the guitarist, bassist, keyboardist, and kind of just, I don't know, I kind of get the impression he's sort of the band leader slash maybe lead songwriter, although all the tracks are credited as the band. But yeah, again, heavy metal with some power metal mixed in there for good measure. Definitely a solid release if you're into that kind of stuff at all. And again, Visigoth is a good comparison. Oh, I didn't show this off. So if you pre-ordered that the EP, you got a poster. And actually, I kind of want to. I'm sorry, my apologies. I kind of want to backtrack on this album art. It's kind of fun because it sort of makes it look like a movie. Here's like the tagline: "Revenge is a dish best served eternally." It's got like the credits down here at the bottom like a movie would. Anyway, so if you pre-ordered that, it came with a poster, which I'm not going to do anything with it, but cool anyway. Is even more like a movie poster. She'll break his heart before he breaks the curse. Which is, I mean, she has the heart in her hand, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably true. But anyway, that's pretty cool. Probably won't do anything with it, but whatever. Also, they did this too, which I thought was super cute and funny, and I will keep it along with the record. Because obviously this order came from the band. This is Dear Travis, You Rule Dude, Love Dream Troll. And then it has this kick-ass picture of a frog wearing a helmet and a bloodied sword that he's carrying, and it says "Kiss Me Beautiful." Alright, so anyway, that was Dream Troll. If you're into power metal, heavy metal, check those guys out. You won't be disappointed. Next up is another release from 2018. This is a Dungeon Synth Dark Ambient project. I think it's a little bit of both. This is Charnel Oubliette. Comes from this cool little slip thing. I got this from Bandcamp. It was limited to 10. Although I'll leave a link as I always do with everything. If you like it, there's a repress coming in March, so check it out. Anyway, so I got number 9 of 10. Cool little album art there. This is a project out of the United States, I think Pennsylvania, Ohio, something like that. The keeper of the Charnel Oubliette is the artist, the sole lone artist. My package came from the keeper on the mail. Comes in this black tape, single-sided. Yeah, really cool. I like this one a lot. It's yeah, just the name of Charnel Oubliette is like perfect for what this sounds like. So yeah, there's that. And this facsimile is hereby sworn to, and it has my name. It's actually, I think it's a compilation because all the tracks that are listed in here have like the years, like when they're done. So obviously, yeah. I like this little part at the top. Conjure not these songs lest you join with that nimble-footed prince who dances on little clickety-clackety hooves in the comely night of the full moon. Not sure what that means, but beware nonetheless. All tracks read, performed, and recorded under the auspices of his own eternal shadow in the temple of Gemini by the keeper of the Charnel Oubliette. And then again here, 9 of 10. Yeah, a cool release if you're into you know, this kind of, dark ambient Dungeon Synth kind of stuff. I definitely in particular like the use of the horns, I guess we'll call them. I like those in particular. Anyway, check out the link if you're into that kind of thing, and if you like it, wait for March. So yeah, Charnel Oubliette, and I think it's just demo 1, or I actually think it's just 1. I think is actually what the name of it is. So yeah, check it out. Next up is another cassette. This one is a band who I came across because White Filth Vinyl showed off this cassette. It's a Belgian band. He sort of, intimated that it's the same guys who are involved in Perverted Ceremony. So obviously, I knew that I had to jump in and get a hold of it. Took me a while to actually find a copy to purchase, but finally, actually through Hell's Headbangers, I came across the fact that they had copies. So I was glad to pick it up, and that is Black Necrosis, and this is a demo release. Holy Rotting Flesh is the name of it. Comes on this. This is the Darkness Attacks version on the Black Pro tape. There was another version originally released by the band. I don't know, limited quantities. I think this is limited too, but I'm not really sure what it's limited to. Comes in this Xeroxed J card, which is like not even. I mean, like the first song's like cut off, even it's like not straight or anything. But whatever. Doesn't affect the way it sounds, which is it kind of has a similar vibe to the Perverted Ceremony stuff, but definitely much more so onto the death metal side of things. Definitely still has that black metal edge, we'll say, in there, but definitely again more so on the death metal side of things. I think Darkness Attacks has copies, but they're like not selling them or something. Like I can't remember what I read, but I think eventually you're gonna be able to buy this there again. But again, I got this through Hell's Headbangers, so they might still have copies. But yeah, cool stuff. Don't love this as much as the Perverted Ceremony, but it's pretty cool. And again, it's a demo, so maybe in the future it will, a future release will be better or whatever. At the same time, picked up a patch at Hell's Headbangers that I had been wanting to buy for quite a while, and that is this Iron Curtain patch. I like how it says Heavy Metal Strike there, which is kind of cheesy, corny, but that's sort of why I like it also. Iron Curtain, been really into this band a lot lately, if you've been watching me. So when I saw this patch, I knew I had to get it. And while we're on that train of thought, also picked up this CD. This is Hitten with their second full-length album, State of Shock. This is a band also from Spain, like Iron Curtain. It features the original guitarist from Iron Curtain, Danny something. He was the guitarist on the first two Iron Curtain albums, but he went and I think he started this project actually before he left Iron Curtain. But anyway, this is now his main band. Similar-ish, I would say, where obviously Iron Curtain's more of like a speed metal. These guys play a much more kind of traditional, new wave of traditional heavy metal kind of sound. Pretty solid stuff. I definitely don't like this as much as Iron Curtain, I would say. The guitars and everything are obviously great. I don't know, just the songs and attitude just quite aren't as strong as Iron Curtain, but this is still solid stuff. Great riffing, killer soloing. Vocals are pretty solid too. Yeah, good stuff. Out on No Remorse Records. This is the 2016 release. Still need to pick up their first full-length album, which I can't remember the title of right now at this moment. But I've listened to it and it's good also, so I definitely will want to pick that up sometime soon. So yeah, got this through Swords and Chains Records, which is a distro, I think in Illinois or Indiana, somewhere like that. It was first time ordering from them, so anyway, cool. Hitten, and by the way, I'm really not into the name Hitten as a band name. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me, but whatever. Hitten, State of Shock. Alright, next up is a 2015 release. This is a black metal band out of the United States. I think I'm pronouncing this correctly or close to it when I say Akhlys. It's A-K-H-L-Y-S, but the K is silent, I guess. It's the word Akhlys is it's a Greek goddess of it was like something like the spirit Miss Death, which I don't know. It's probably what we're seeing here on the front cover, which by the way is a rad album cover. This is it's two guys, but I think it's mostly just one guy, the same guy who's in like Nightbringer, and I think Bestia Arcana too, and probably like maybe a bajillion other bands. Came across this, I don't know, maybe last weekend actually. I was texting with Sir Meatwad, and he happened to tell me that he was listening to this, and I said, well, I got some time right now, so I actually started listening to it myself. Immediately was into it. Here comes with the booklet. Just like super nightmarish, atmospheric black metal. The guitars are just the perfect amount of shrill. The vocals are just horrifying. The drums are just really tight, well played. Everything actually is actually really tight and well played, and I think that's kind of gives it sort of like an intense kind of like mechanization feel to it, in a way, sort of. I don't know. This is super good. The atmosphere just envelops you. Really like this one a lot. Out on Devon Muir Morty Productions. Anyway, yeah. I can't remember now if these guys have other releases or not. They might. If they do, I'll need to check them out. So yeah, but anyway, this is, I actually didn't say, this is The Dreaming Eye is the name of the album. Akhlys. The CD copy has an extra track on it, which is only ambient, which actually, there is actually a fair amount of dark ambient sort of mixed within the album, which actually I think does a really good job of, helping to create that really strong and intense atmosphere that's, again, very, very nightmarish sounding. Again, Akhlys with The Dreaming Eye. Alright, next one up. This is actually one I was super excited to listen to, and actually I put off listening to it way too long, and that is the 2014 release from Sons of Crom. This album is called Riddle of Steel. Almost definitely a reference to Conan, particularly when this band's called Sons of Crom. I haven't really looked into the lyrics, maybe that's super obvious. Again, this is a band. The last year was number 15, number 14 or 15. I can't remember. I think 15. Number 15 album of the year. Really into it, and definitely wanted to listen. I hadn't listened to this earlier release, and really wanted to do so, and now I have. It is very similar to that album. If you're not familiar with their sound, they kind of have a black metal, battery kind of sound on the album that was released last year, The Black Tower. That one kind of had more of a power metal kind of a thing going on with it, whereas this one has that kind of same black metal battery kind of thing going on. But this one's a little more, stays in the black metal realm, a little bit stronger on the folky influences for sure. Still, this one is a great release. I do like The Black Tower a bit better, but this one's also super good. If you like Bathory, you're gonna think this is pretty good stuff. Has the clean vocal kind of singy kind of stuff going on. This sort of epic Viking-ish sound with the harsh vocals too. Just super good. Like this, kind of looks like graboids from Tremors. It's a two-man project. One guy's from Finland, one guy's from Sweden. Is there anything going on underneath here? Yeah, we got some info underneath the tray. Trust me. Yeah, again, really like this one a lot. Comes with liner notes here with lyrics, some pictures, etc. Yeah, Riddle Still, good one. Sons of Crom. If you like the Black Tower, you'll definitely, I think, like this one too. Or if you've haven't heard either of them, and are into the more Viking era of Bathory, definitely give this band a chance, because you might have a couple more releases to add to your repertoire. Released on, oh, interesting, funny, it's the same label that released the Akhlys, the Debamure Morty Productions. So yeah, Sons of Crom, Riddle Steel, awesome release. Check it out. Alright, next couple up are some cool ones that I had been putting off for a really long time, had them downloaded on my computer forever, and you know, I've been trying to do a really good job of trying to buy up all the albums that I have downloaded that I listen to actually fairly or often enough that I should you know, own them. So yeah, decided to finally bite the bullet and pick them up on CD, and that is the John Carpenter Lost Themes and Lost Theme 2. If you're not familiar with John Carpenter, I find that kind of maybe surprising if you're into metal and watching my videos, but maybe you're watching my videos for some other random reason. But anyway, John Carpenter is most notably known as a film director, probably, you know, Halloween, Assault on Precinct 13, The Thing, tons of great 80s sci-fi, horror, action type movies. One thing that maybe people do or don't know about him, I think this is sort of a fairly well-known thing about him, but maybe everyone doesn't know. He also is very prominent in terms of creating the soundtracks or the scores to the films, like the if you're familiar with the movie Halloween, the do 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 do, like that, he did that. So he's always sort of dabbled in music. So yeah, I was no stranger to it. But he got together, I think, with his son, and then maybe some other dude too. Yeah, Cody Carpenter, his son, and then Daniel Davies. So the same guys. Yep, same trio on the number 2. Yeah, it's kind of very electronic, dark electronic music. Has a very horror, scary vibe to it. If you're into, I don't know, horror soundtracks in general, I would say that you'd probably dig this a lot. Maybe if you're into something like Perturbator or something like that, you might be into this too, because it definitely has a very strong electronic vibe to it. And actually, let me sidebar one quick second. I'll leave a link to this too. Just came across an awesome synthwave project called Midnight Danger. They just released an album called Malignant Force in February. The vinyl comes out in April. I picked mine up even though the shipping was $10 and ridiculous, because it is an awesome release. If you're into synthwave, Perturbator type style stuff, listen to that one. Alright, back to this John Carpenter. Again, Volume 2, same thing. Awesome stuff. Super electronic with a dark horror vibe to it that yeah, I really dig. Both releases are super cool. I hope he continues to put out this kind of stuff. I haven't really looked into it to see if he is planning to do that or not, but I hope that he does, because I really like it. One thing that I thought was cool, in a way, was they kind of left like the side A, side B on both of them, actually. Which at first I was like, oh, lazy. They left off. They just kept for the vinyl and put it on the CD. But actually, it made it kind of cool, because it made me sort of try to envision listening to the album in terms of the sides, which I had never done before. But I really didn't get anything out of it. But it was kind of cool, just as a fun exercise anyway. But yeah, this one came out in 2014, and this one I think came out in 2016. Again, both super cool releases from John Carpenter, and yeah, if you're into dark electronic stuff, definitely give it a shot, because I think you'll probably dig it. Alright, last but certainly not least, and perhaps chosen as the last one to talk about, as to perhaps avoid embarrassment, I decided to, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, Sir Meatwad was telling me he was watching this thrash documentary because he felt like he wanted to, try to get better about thrash, and I don't know, for whatever reason I decided to just watch the documentary also, and I don't know, it wasn't anything that was super, super cool, but the one thing that I came out of the documentary was that there was a certain, you know, original thrash era band that I really had not spent time with, and that was kind of disappointing. And so I decided to pick up their debut album, and that is Nexëhmü with Bonded by Blood. To kind of sidetrack for just a moment and further embarrass myself, I would like to admit that I've actually listened to a new era thrash band called Bonded in Blood, obviously named after this album. And I've actually listened to multiple releases by them. I don't own any of their albums, but I have listened to multiple of their albums, so it's kind of sad that I re-listened to those releases before I actually re-listened to the original band, but that's how it goes. Anyway, back to this one, Bonded by Blood. This is their first release. You know, forever, Exodus was kind of just that was the band that Kirk Hammett was in before he joined Metallica. And so I hadn't really spent any time listening to this band. And anyway, they sounded interesting in the documentary, and I heard a couple riffs and was like, fuck, that sounds ripping, and decided, what the heck, let's get it. Obviously, this is like the alternate artwork, which I don't really care either way. Song titles and some info on the inside. It's kind of a bare bones reissue. Yeah, I wouldn't say I love this release, but it's a very, very solid release. Particularly the songs "And Then There Were None" and "A Lesson in Violence." Those are some ripping riffs. This, I think this is maybe the only release to have Paul Bailoff on vocals. Is that the guy's name, right? Paul Bailoff. Yeah, Paul Bailoff on vocals. He might be on another release, but I think this might be it. Anyway, his vocals are pretty solid. Kind of has a, you know, a yelly snarl thing going on. But for what I enjoy most about this release is the occasional really good riffs that I get. I don't know if I'll really do a whole lot of moving on. I think there's actually another release after this one that is, I can picture the album cover, they're like sitting at a bar. I'll probably listen to that one and give that one a shot. This one, you know, I don't know, it's good, but it didn't really like super grab me. It's probably blasphemy, I'm sorry. But this is out on Combat Records. So yeah, Exodus, Bonded by Blood. You know, most people probably consider this a classic. You know, I'll probably end up listening to it more. Maybe it'll eventually click more so for me. But as of right now, just a good, decent, solid release. All right, that is all I've got for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're familiar with any of the releases that I've talked about here today, please let me know what you think of them. Also, let me know what you think of this cut-up style of video. I kind of feel like I don't like it. I kind of feel like it kills the flow, and maybe I should just, you know, put in some research and figure out how to fix the video time thing. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I got. Have a good weekend. Good day.